Hello, my name is Samuel Fivo, and welcome to the Perspective View podcast. I'm Samuel Fivo, as I've already said, and today we are going to be talking about parents' view and children's thoughts. What parents think and how children get to see what's the way they look at things that are being taught by their parents here. And all the way from South Africa, I have a guest that will be talking today with me. He's Lord Warrant, and hopefully he's a grown man. I don't know if he has children, but I don't know yet. I don't know if he has children, but it would be nice to hear from him what he has to say. First of all, Mr. Warrant, I would like to I want you to give me a little piece of how it was for you growing up in South Africa, just your experience growing up. I know you're already a grown man, so just give us that childhood experience that you got while growing up. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Give thanks for having me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with our fellow brothers and sisters out there. So, as you have said, my name is Warren, all the way from South Africa. Let me not actually introduce myself at most and get down with what you have asked me. So, I could say we have actually a different explanation to your question, looking at the age that I am right now.
Sure.
And according to how I am going to answer it right now, it is at least a same level with my intellectual capacity.
Yeah.
So if I were to be general, I'll say um, as a black child, of course, we have those parents that actually have a different hand for for us to grow. Actually, they treat us in a certain manner in which they believe it's
It's
actually a
right.
right way of
Sure.
raising a child.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll say at an early age, at an infancy stage, maybe let's talk about 3 to 9 years, somewhere there. That's when you develop as a child.
Yeah.
That's when you start questioning. The curiosity grows. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that level, that is when we start to also experience ourselves, who we are in nature. You understand?
Yes.
So growing up as a child in South Africa, of course, or as a black child, is that we are being treated as child, of course, but on the other hand, we are actually dictated to live a certain life. There is uh, integrity, or I'll say what a family is trying to protect the integrity of the family, the dignity. You understand? I'll say, for example, as my father was actually working for a government department by then when I was still young. You understand?
Yeah.
So they dictated us, almost all of us, that we should actually pursue. If I'll actually what they categorized as better was someone who works for the government. So basically, we are dictated to take that path. You understand?
Yeah.
And then there is what I choose to be as a child, and it does not come as a choice. For instance, I used to love to sing. You understand?
Yeah.
But then I didn't know that I could sing. You
Okay.
see, it was only my parents who could notice the potential that I had and could actually usher me and actually helped me to realize what I was capable of. But I ended up realizing that I could sing at my 16. But all along, I grew up loving singing and stuff, but I didn't know that I could sing. So, according to how they raised me, they did not raise me according to who I am. I am proud to say that because that is what is affecting most of the black families. They raised us according to how they think it's best for a child to be raised. And it's kind of a difficult, man.
So you will say,
It's kind of a
will you say you enjoyed your growing up experiences? Because here in Nigeria, in Nigeria, growing up, there are lots of things implied to growing up in Nigeria, where um sometimes children are scared of their parents. And okay, like me, giving for example, I was someone that I'm usually indoors, with the fact that okay, sometimes you want to go out and play with your friends, you want to do this, you want to do that, but a situation where you hear from the junction, maybe you're downstairs and from the junction, so someone tells you your mom is at the junction, your mom is coming back. There's this fear it puts in you. I don't know, did you enjoy the experience of you growing up that way, or was your own experience quite different? Because there are lots and lots of things to the experiences we had growing up, like parents being scared, children being scared of their parents, and children, ah god, like growing up was fun. Even as it was fun, there were lots entailed to it. Will you say while growing up you had more fun, your parents released you to go and have more fun with your parents, or you were mostly indoors?
in my house, actually, we were mostly indoors because
Ah, okay.
um, of of how they wanted us to be, because they think or they thought that the streets are not safe for us. Actually, there is this thing that the streets ruin a child. You understand?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to go out in the house, I had to come up with a tangible
A
reason.
lie. Okay,
You
you have
understand?
a reason before you go out, because most times, most times we lie before we can be able to go out. So, okay, I see.
Yes, yes. Like you had to lie, and mind you, as a child, like you cannot lie as an old person. At some
Sure,
point,
they will
you
know.
you, you sound like a liar.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay, I see. Okay,
Yeah. So
you can go on.
I was about to say that it was not actually fun. When I look at it right now, it was not fun. It was not that exploring life, because the only time you go out, it was when you go to school or when you go to the shop.
So you get
You
to
understand?
explore more when you are in school or you are in the shop.
You are in the shop. You
Okay.
understand? And in school, there are those friends that you see. Actually, you see different kinds of people in school on a daily
Yeah.
basis,
Sure.
in which they add to how you see things or how you used to see things. That is why when you go home and start misbehaving, they say that it's the street. It's because they
Ye-
know that you
ye-
in the street you are exposed to a lot of things.
Yeah. Don't you think children should be exposed to the streets? Because I mean, training up children, and while children are growing up, they are not exposed to the street, they are just exposed to nothing at all, they are just there. Don't you think they should be given at least a little free hand to give them the experience of what the outer world looks like?
Um, can I take at least a little bit more time explaining this? I love your question.
Okay.
I love your question. Yes. So, if Actually, let me first start say that children are the most vulnerable human beings actually
Sure.
you can ever find. You understand?
But they are the sweetest too.
So
I would say they are the sweetest too.
yeah, they are the cities.
Yeah.
So it's a fact that we have to be sensitive with children. You understand? But then being sensitive or being protective to our children shouldn't be a limit to realize what life is. Because we, I would say parents actually, because I only have a son, is actually 2 years old now. So
Okay.
yeah. So as parents, I do fit to call myself as a parent.
Sure, you're a parent already.
Yes. So um as parents, we should learn to learn our children. We are raising them. We are not actually shaping who they are. They are already shaped. You understand?
Can you,
From
sorry,
gifts
can you
to
give a little
preferences.
light? Can you give a little light on you're not shaping them, they are already shaped? Like, I don't really get that part.
Yes. Okay, let me elaborate it in this way
Yeah.
that they are already shaped. We are not shaping them. It's that as a parent, when you look at your child, you already have something in which you know about the child. Let's say the behavioral traits, what they do on a daily basis. You understand?
Yeah.
It's it's one of the things that we use to understand children. So why when I say that they are already shaped, it's that their first action that they take as children is not influenced or tolerated by anything external. It is internal. It comes from within them. Hence, we say that children are having that real love. It is because it comes from within. Everything that they do as children, it is from within, not external. So as they get exposed to us before to the street, there is external influence which adds into what they already are. For instance, we don't teach our children to sing. I love talent because talent is the most useful, I say, very the most useful example for me to use
Yeah.
because we don't give our child talent, they are born with it.
Yeah, they are
You
born with
understand?
it. Yes.
Yes. So when we realize who they are, what they love doing, how they respond to the nature, how they respond to being alive, actually, we are learning about who they are before we could teach them what we know or what we want. There is already what a child is. If someone was born somewhere, let me take for an example, it's you are born in South Africa, of
Okay.
course. Yeah, if it is the very same you will be living a different lifestyle. There will be a lot of things that will be different about you, but there is this one common thing that you are born with that you will still be even if you were born in South Africa. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. So that thing, the nature, let's call it a nature of a human being. Each and every one of us has his or her own nature. You
Yeah.
understand?
Sure.
We are unique in that way. So there is no way that we can try to actually dilute someone's uniqueness because of what we want.
Yeah.
So, as parents, while we're trying the first thing that makes us to be harsh when it comes to children going out in the streets or exploring in that way, it is because we think or we tell ourselves that we are trying to protect them, that they do not get harm, that they do not get any doctrine that will ruin their minds. You understand?
Yeah.
But then we forget that as a family, let's say we are five, let's say we are three, let's say we are 10, we can never ever be enough to be a family and be the for our child. So the street experience, an experience that a child should have in the streets is very essential. You
Sure.
understand? However, it is treated with caution. It is actually something that we should consider more into when we are actually stopping our kids from doing certain things, when we allow them to do certain things simply because we don't want to do, we don't want them to do certain things.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It must be with caution, because we end up ruining our child because of what I am saying right now. You understand? Look at this. Have you ever realized that someone who grew up like without having to be afraid of going out, or maybe hanging out with anyone, like they allowed them to go out at any time they wanted. Whenever it's their first time going out of the town, they are at least comfortable than the one who is always indoor. Just like me and you, I'm
Sure.
also
I'm always indoors
somehow
too.
always
I'm always indoors too. Very, very
yeah,
indoors.
yeah. So, but then when we go out of the town or maybe out of the province, it comes it becomes a different story compared to someone who is always in the streets, who is always interacting with people on a daily basis. Like, for a fact is that we will find it hard to talk or to approach a stranger.
Yeah.
But then someone who is exposed to the streets, they already have the code or the language that is used
So
in
it
the
will be
streets, the
much more
communication.
easier.
Yes, than someone who is always indoors.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. So let me go to
So
the okay.
in this manner,
You can continue. Go on.
okay, what were
Go
you
on.
saying?
Go on. Go on. Go on.
Okay, I was saying that in this manner, I'll say the streets, or letting your child get exposed to reality. I love to call it reality because that is the most real world we are having than the one that we have in the house.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
That is when you will get to see that when we say people are getting killed, they are getting killed indeed. When you say like they can rob you in front of people, you can get robbed indeed. You understand?
Yeah.
So you gotta experience the street life and as well as a balanced life as it should be.
Okay. So thank you very much. Next I will go into religious training. You know, parents take religion very, very, very seriously. Like, I'm from a Christian home, and there is no way okay, taking the fact that I'm from a Christian home, my parents won't want me to change my religion because that is what I was brought up with, you get. So in your own aspects, what do you think about the way parents train up their children religiously? Do you think children have the rights? Okay, will I put it as rights? Do you think they have, yes, the right or the choice to make decisions on their own so that they can be able to feel free and do whatsoever they want via religious ways, because they'll be like, you're from this religion, do not do this, do not do this, do not do this. You know, all the you're already a parent, so you should understand. Like, for example, you let me say your 3-year-old child, he has grown up, and then all of a sudden, the way you trained him religiously, he has started veering away from that life. As of you, okay, take for example you and your child, what would you do? What would be your reaction? Let's take this to be a reality now. Let's not take this as a talk show. What will be your actual reaction towards him?
For a clarity, I'll say I will not choose any religion for my child. In fact, I'd love my child to be a free thinker than being a religious someone. It does not matter which kind of a religion he will choose or think is better. And even if he choose to become a religious person in a way that he choose or he subscribe to a certain
Religion.
I wouldn't I wouldn't actually stop him. But whenever we are having a conversation concerning religious stuff, I will let him know that I am always looking at everything with my two eyes, not a single eye. You
Okay,
understand?
yeah.
In that way, I'm trying to say that I look at the other side and the other side of the story. You understand? So I also grew up as a religious person, or I'll say in a Christian family.
Okay.
You understand? I'm a keyboardist, actually, a keyboardist.
Wow, I'm also a keyboardist
But
too.
then, oh really?
Yeah, I play the keyboard very well. Okay.
Oh yeah. So um, but everything changes when someone, like even right now, if you ask me if I'm a Christian, or I will literally tell you that I'm not a Christian. I don't want you to classify me as a Christian or any part of any religion. You
Okay.
understand?
Okay, you how do you
Because
you can classify yourself to being a moral person. You're moral, not classified under any
yes, yes,
religion. Okay, okay,
yes, yes. I love that word that you use, moral. That's what I don't believe in morals. It's what we have.
okay,
You see. So that's it.
okay. So this
Or you want me
is
to add more into it?
no, that is okay. That is okay. Okay, now the this one is another aspect of life that parents usually, okay, this is another aspect of life where teenagers and parents
Mm.
usually have issues. This is where teenagers and parents usually have issues. When I mean they have issues, I don't know if you know, it's more of like the relationships of their kids, teenagers. You know how teenagers can be. Like if your child grows up and he's a teenager, we know there is infatuation, there's love, there is lust, and there are plenty things involved in relationship. So first of all, I want you to give a general view of relationship in your own thoughts. Yeah, use your own words. I'm not yet asking the question I want to ask, but just give a total review of what you think relationship entails. You're already a married man, so I don't want you to really use the marital aspect of relationship. I want you to go via the teenage part of relationship. Yeah. Okay, it's
Um,
down to
I'm
you.
I'm 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 not married, man. I'm not married.
Okay, okay, okay. You're not married. Okay, no problem. Let's hear your aspect of the relationship.
Oh, a relationship. Of course, we do have different kinds of relationships.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, the one that we are talking about now, it's a love affair, of course.
Yes, love affair.
Yes. So, in simply means I'll say a relationship. It's something to build. Actually, it's an endless project, an endless building project on a daily basis. You build. You understand?
Yeah.
It's something where we say, um, me and someone obvious from a different gender. I'm not bisexual. I'm not gay. I'm straight man.
Okay.
So if if I had
Sorry. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. Okay.
if I had a woman
Yeah.
and say I'm in a relationship with her, it means I am actually building a family. There are a lot of things which are involved or are found within the perimeters of what we call a relationship.
Okay.
So it takes our minds to understand it, of course.
Sure. Okay. Now let me now ask you the question I wanted to ask you. When did you start dating? Like from secondary,
Oh,
teenage? Yeah. When did you start dating? Yeah, the first, we do classify it as love of life. Okay, when did you have your first love of life?
oh, yeah, you are right. You are actually accurate there because I was about to tell you that I don't remember well when did I start dating, but having the first love of my life, someone that I
You
loved,
truly loved. Okay.
obviously someone who first broke my heart. Yes, it was 2014, of course. I was doing grade 10 by then. Yeah, I was doing grade 10 in 2014, and I had the first love of my life, someone that I thought maybe would be my
Your
wife in
wife.
the near future.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice. Okay. So when you started having this feeling, did you tell your parents? And then how did they look at it? How was their view towards your your thoughts, your feelings? How did they look at it?
Like we are sitting right now discussing parents' view and children's thoughts
Yes.
because of the very same reason that made me not speak about it with my parents or my sisters or my brothers. I only spoke about it with my friends.
So
Understand?
why didn't you tell your parents? Did you have a feeling that there would be something that will come up?
Yes, I had a feeling of fear that they would say now I am actually on my adolescent. Of course, I was at my adolescent,
Yeah.
but then they would say that I'm now okay. I'll be labeled as a bad child. You understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
And
that feeling.
the problem is that you are not only this thing to prove that this thing is common. It's not only my family. It's that I was also afraid that if I tell my parents and then they tell my neighbor and my neighbor tells someone, is that in the village I'll be known as a bad kid who started dating at a younger age.
Yeah,
You know?
okay. So you had the fear that there would be something that would go wrong if you had told them.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now,
I feared that.
Now, why do you think teenagers are scared to speak up when they are bothered? Like taking for example, why you were not able to tell your parents. Why do you think teenagers? Because most teenagers they don't speak up at all. They don't speak up. They don't say their problems. Why do you think they are scared? They don't speak up to tell their parents or to tell people that are close to them stuffs about them.
It is because of what they see on a daily basis, how they were raised. They were given certain standards in which we can say they are the standards of the society, which are norms in which the society approves. So those things are being applied at households in a way that whenever a child wants to speak about a certain thing in which they already told her or him that we don't want to see this kind of a thing in this family. We don't want to see this kind of a thing manifesting in the streets, because when you do it in the streets, they say you are a child coming from
This
this
family,
family.
yeah.
So yeah, it is those things that we see when, let's say, maybe I have wronged them, I did something wrong in the family, in the household. What they do to me, it is the reason why I don't tell them. I'm afraid I'm telling them a wrong thing. So basically, they will do to me what they do when I have wronged them or when I have broken a window or something else. You understand?
Yeah. So do you think that children from this family, children that comes from this family, teenagers that come from this family, do you feel that they regret coming from the particular family they come from? Yeah. Do you think they regret it, like I don't like the way I'm from this family. I would have loved if I came out from this other family, because teenagers, they usually share their experiences with their peers. Yeah, in the fact that a certain friend will come and be like, my friend, my dad gives me free hand, I can be able to explain everything, my fears, my weaknesses with my parents. And telling it to someone that is from a kind of family that he can't tell his parents stuffs, they are strict with him and all the rest of it, don't you think it will make the person feel bad or kind of regret coming from a particular home, from a particular background?
It is, actually, it is, because um, I have actually talked with various kinds of youth. I actually started talking with people or interacting with people at my teenage years. So I spoke with a lot of them, only to find out that almost every teenager, when they say they are depressed or they say they are stressed, if it's not the relationship stuff, it's because of the family. So basically, the that thing is common, actually. Like a lot of teenagers, a lot of our youth, a lot of our people, even at my age, like there are those who are still regretting that why did I come out from this family? At least if I would have came from that man's family, it would be better, because in that family they treat their children in this
Well,
way and they do this and that. You understand?
yeah. Okay.
So they do experience it.
Okay, now down to the next question. In most families, like me, for example, um me, I love the way I love my dad is the way I love my mom. But sometimes if you ask
Okay.
some teenagers or if you ask some children, between your mom and your dad, who do you like the best? Who do you like the most? Some will be like, I love my mom. Some will be like, I love my dad. Then sometimes
I love my dad.
if you ask a question where they'll be like, why? They'll tell you, my dad gives a lot of free hand. My dad is this, my mom is this, my mom is this. So, do you think that this feeling that they have, it should be? Because I think the parents are the same. So why share the love between them? Why is it that, although yeah, for the fact that some parents, most of them are classified not to be nice in a way though, but what is your own explanation to the way children love their parents, their father or their mother the most?
Um, as much as now we are talking about thoughts, actually the mind or the mindset is that in a family of two parents where there is a mom and the dad, those are two different people.
Yeah.
You understand? Those people do things differently. You understand? And then it's their nature, of course, at some point. It's my nature to take a certain procedure in order to discipline
Your
a
child.
child, not corporal punishment, but then I'm just talking about the discipline, because in the black society when I immediately mention discipline, they assume it's corporal punishment.
Yeah.
You understand? So, so like those two people are doing things different and they understand life or reality in a different way. So basically, it's a must that a child look at them in a different eye, in a way that he or she thinks the father is better than the mother, or the mother
Is
is
better
better
than the father.
than the father. So what is happening in the black society is that mostly, most of us, we love our mothers more than our fathers.
Fathers.
Not because fathers are bad. Yes, fathers, I meant to say fathers. So not because fathers are bad, simply because in the black society, or I would say here, in it's our nature that the father, or we believe that the father is the head of the house. So whenever I do something wrong, it should be the father who is dealing with me. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So each and every one of us, of course, we hate anyone who would like to actually take us through a difficult process. You understand?
Yeah.
So we think our mothers are soft and our fathers are not soft, simply because of the scenario that I am sharing right now. So to minimize into that is that we do have those children who would find it hard to indicate which one is the best between the father and the child. You understand?
Yeah. Okay.
So in what I'm saying right now is that the, those children who find it hard to define who is better between the parents, it is because the parents have practiced, or actually have tried their level best to not categorize themselves to their children in a way that the mother can take you through a disciplinary process when you did something wrong. The father could also do the same. You understand?
Yeah.
The mother does provide, and the father does provide. Like they show a certain unity as parents. They play their role as parents, not partners, because we are affected simply because we treat each other as partners, not as in like a one thing. Because as parents, parents is just in a plural form, but we're not talking about if we were to talk about parents, we should be talking about a single thing, which is the 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 the, the, the root, or the lead, or the steering of the family. They are the ones who are in the front of the family. So if we look at them as two people, obviously we are going to have categories that if you are in need of a key to the car, to the family car, you must talk to your mother. But when you need something different, you must talk to your father. But instead, we can do a different thing that we show to our children that the very same responsibility that I hold unto you as a parent is the very same responsibility that your mother is holding as a parent. In that way, our children will find it hard to determine
Okay.
which parent is better.
Okay. So now I know you're living among the whites, if I'm right. You There are little,
Um,
there are white people that are in South Africa. Yeah, I don't know if you,
yes,
the way they live among themselves, the way the parents treat them. Okay, let's not say you've been with them, or let me not classify being with them. The way we've seen them treat their children in movies and in, yeah, mainly in movies, and sometimes the way we've seen them actually treating their children in public. Do you think it's right?
will it be wrong if I say how we think white people raise their children? It's um let me put it in this way actually. Let me speak in a personal point of view.
Okay.
Yes, how I think white people raise their children, I think it's somehow beneficial to them as the white people, and it's good thing to raise as a white child. The reason why I'm saying this, it is because the side effect or the negative effect that we see in a white child or someone, or I'll say we're talking about white people right now,
Yeah.
from a white child, is that it is actually far-fetched from how they were raised. But in the black society, how we see a black child respond, or how we see a black child lives, or the side effect, the negative effect, it is actually, it has a lot to do with how we are raised. You understand?
Yeah.
Can I give an example now?
Yeah, you can.
I did spend some time with actually white people. You know, they they actually allow their kids to do a lot of things without stopping them. Like a child could climb a tree on their watch, actually, and they would keep quiet for that moment and see how he or she turns out. You understand? It's risky. It's risky. Of
Very
course, we
risky.
should watch our children. We should, yes. So what I'm trying to say here is that before they could actually tell the kids that this is actually a bad thing, they have this tendency of letting them experience it, not simply because they are waiting for him or her to fall so that they could tell him that this is bad,
Okay.
but simply because they are seeing a certain potential in him, in which that if that child climbs that tree without falling and even get off, maybe or fail to get off, tomorrow they might come back with certain equipment to use to climb the tree. You understand? Safety guards, something related, ropes, you understand, to keep them safe and let them continue climbing those trees. In that way, they are actually tolerating the potential of their child. It was an example, mind you. I am not saying that they should actually tolerate their
Okay. No problems. Okay, now the next question that should be the eighth one is in it's under career. It's under career.
Yes.
Sorry. Close the door. Close the door. Sorry, I had a little distant. I know you cannot be able to see me. Sorry, I had a little lag on my system. The eighth question is via career. It's under career. You know, most parents they tend to choose career for their children, in the sense that like as you said, where a white parent will see his child climb a tree or then gets more distance to him. Does it mean that him climbing the tree he has found the potential? Does it mean that he wants his child to go under that direction? Because sometimes they want their children to go under that direction when it's not really his or her will. Taking for example a child that's he loves, maybe you grow up and you have, okay, you are like someone that is good with electrical stuffs, you repair torches, you repair little things that maybe they don't really make sense to you, but yet to the child he's just doing it because he plays and all the rest of them. But then all of a sudden he's grown up now and he has seen another line of work that he's mainly interested into, but his parents want him to go into electrical engineering, saying the fact that while growing up as a kid he was already doing a little repair of touch. What do you think about it? Because most parents, I think, they diversify that. They want you to do what you have always done while you were a kid, because things change, people change their mind to things. Like, I can be an electrical engineer now and all of a sudden I want to be a mechanical engineer. It's choice, but sometimes our parents want to force it on us. I'm just talking from my own part of view. What is your own say to this?
Yes,
Yeah.
give thanks to that. So it's you are factual there that you we are somehow related. We actually showed a certain potential or a certain interest in it while we were growing up as a kid, and then this the part that says okay, sorry, this this the part that I said that we find out that they are trying to protect us, or they think they are leading us into the right path, but they have let alone the fact that as we grow up, we does not only experience new things or explore to new things, we also realize certain things about ourselves which we did not realize or did not know at an earlier age. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's a common thing. What you have said, it's a common thing, because I can say that I also wanted to be doing something different right now, but I was not dictated to do anything for a record. But what I'm trying to say is that today I am doing what I never thought of at my age of 16. You understand?
Yeah.
I am doing what I never thought of at my age of 18. You understand?
Yeah.
So every day comes with a new thing, comes with a lesson, it comes with a realization, it comes with a new interest. Because there are certain things we don't just realize we are good at them. We first develop interest to them. You understand? We first love them, but later realize that we are capable of also doing those things. You understand?
Yeah.
So as parents, I'll say as parents, allow me to say like this thing what you asked me now, it's actually also affected most of their previous experiences. You understand? Because after they have had a certain experience in which was contrary to what they wanted, you understand?
Yeah.
They take that lesson of their own life and want it to pass to us. You understand?
Yeah.
So they are affected by their past experiences in which they want to apply them now in a way that it extends to that point that they do not approve certain things which you have asked. If I was doing my electrical engineering, let's say I'm sitting on my N5 now.
Okay.
So while I'm doing electrical engineering on N5, I develop let me say I want to study journalism. You
Oh,
understand? You see that the gap, the difference
yeah,
there.
the difference is
I
much.
tell them that yes, I tell them I want to study journalism. The first question would ask, how is it related to what I am doing now?
Thank
Am
you.
I planning to leave behind?
Yeah,
Am I
you and
planning to leave behind what I am doing now in order to do something else? You understand? But then they lose, or they lose the drift, or they don't understand that we to reach a certain age where we have to practice being responsible and accountable for our own actions.
Sure.
And I can say that 90% of uh, uh, the black youth, actually, 90% of us actually is actually suffering the mistakes of our parents as they perpetuate those mistakes in our life in a way that they tolerate us according to how they know us, according to how they raised us, not according to who we are and what we want.
Okay. So you said something, children should be given responsibility at some point so that because they get to become responsible for their actions for some time. So with this question, I go into my next question, which is, at what age do you think a child should be given free hand? He should be left alone to do things on his own, make decisions, and the rest. Because for me, I know that yes, children should be able to make decisions for themselves at younger ages. Yes, because everything we do, the repercussion is on us. The thing there is, me, sometimes I tell my dad when he's giving advices, yeah, you give your advice, but it is left to me to take it. You get? Because anything I do now,
Yeah.
I take responsibility for it. Even when I was small, anything I do, take for example now, yeah, I'm a grown man, and okay, let's take for example, I lay down with a female, a lady, and all of a sudden she gets pregnant. Even if I was at a tender age and that happened, I take responsibility for it. It is me. The only thing that the part of the blame will be on my dad and the rest of them. So the question comes again: at what age do you think we should be free to make our own decisions, although we are still under our parents to some extent? At what age?
Okay. Um, it's this one. It's kind of a not trick. It's kind of a long. It needs a lot of elaboration.
Yeah, you can. We have all the
So
time.
let me summarize it. Yeah, let me summarize it in this way. Um, you see, the substitute of a parent, if they does not need a parent, let's say you are still under 18, if they does not need a parent, they need a what? A guardian.
Yeah.
You see, the word guardian does not apply to someone who takes after our parents have passed away or are away from us or far from home.
Yeah.
The word guardian can also be referred to our parents. They are the ones who guide us. So they are the ones who guide us. They are the ones who guard us. You understand? So we cannot specifically say there is a certain age that a child should be responsible for certain things. I mean, even married people do run to their parents to solve certain issues.
Yes. Yes. Sure, that's true.
So, what I'm trying to say is that it varies with the circumstances where we can say the child must or should decide for themselves. You understand?
Yeah.
There are certain things as a child in which we know, not believe, we know that if we let you be responsible for them, you are not going to do what is right, but you are going to do what will impress you and your friends. You understand?
Yeah.
For instance, if you ask your children, if let's say my boy is turning out 5 years older this year, because we first go to school, to primary school when we are five this side.
Okay.
Let's say when he turns 5 years old, and I ask him, son, where do you want to go and learn and attend your primary school? If he knows there is a certain primary school or two, or if he knows two or three of them, he is going to pick that one primary that he will get to see his friends, that he'll be comfortable at because of various reasons. You understand?
Yeah.
Not because there is quality education or there is something which could be actually be classified as a reasonable reason. You understand?
Yeah.
So in that way, that is when we also have to decide, because we know as parents, it is only us as parents who knows which school can offer best education for my child, because that school there is a 90% of pass rate, and that one it's always 30% pass rate. Actually, that school is about to close. You understand?
Okay.
There are a lot of facts that we can use as parents than children. You understand?
Okay.
So there are certain things as they grow up, they also grow with certain responsibility. You see, when we buy clothes for our children, we don't buy what we want. We buy what we think they will love or they love. For instance, there is a Superman, but there is this clothes that actually has a Superman picture on it, or a Spider-Man picture, or any Marvel hero. You understand?
Yeah.
And whenever they see it, they become merry. They are happy. They are
Yes.
fine. Now we know that when we are going to buy, we will buy them this. And even if we ask them when we get to shop that, my child, what do you want? They will opt for those things. Since those things have no harm to them, we do buy them anyway, you understand?
Yes.
With the considerate man, you understand?
Yeah. Okay. So,
So,
this should be the last question. Maybe I will call it the last question, but hopefully I don't think it will. Depends on how you give your explanation. Okay, so we know
okay.
it depends. There are families that have family problems. I don't know if you've heard of family problems, where certain families have issues within themselves, or yeah, they just have issues within themselves for a particular reason. So what do you think are the main reasons that family problems occur? What is the main reason? Okay, why do you think at some points there are reasons for families to have issues?
First of all, I would love to say every family has its own issue.
Okay.
You see, there is always something to worry about in your family. But then the difference is that they are common issues. You understand?
Yeah.
And they are issues which are not common. For instance, like children who are always fighting. If we have more than two children in the house, we expect them to always cry or making noise. You understand?
Yeah.
Like you are always solving. Yeah. So as much as we have the father, the mother in the family, we have children, or we have the aunt, we have the uncle, whoever we are having. We are there with different mindsets, different behaviors, different beliefs, including religion. Religion can be also one of the reasons why there is no peace in a family. You
Okay.
understand? So, letting alone the common issues. Now we're talking about those issues that could actually affect almost everyone in the house, or those issues that needs attention, that must be addressed. You
Yeah.
understand? it, it is because of preferences and like how we understand what we call respect and sense of humor. Eh, how you understand respect has a lot of impact in our relationship. You
Yes.
understand? You have your own boundaries. I have my own boundaries.
Yeah.
So those boundaries, when they are found in the household, mind you, are talking about, if we're talking about household, it does not matter if each and every one of us has his own room in a separate space. At the end of the day, there's one thing which unites us, which makes us one. There is no way that we can get rid of that thing. We are being a family now. If I have the father in the house and I want to host a party, I must go to my father because it's not my house, of course.
Yes.
But only to find out that my father does not want any parties in his house or anything related to that. It's a minor, I would say, a minor thing by me looking. But that is one of the things that builds into the issues that we are talking about right now. Because one of the good days that we come in difference, or maybe we exchange words, or we get into a verbal disagreement, my anger is also influenced by the fact that I was rejected 3 years back to host a party in the family. But 2 years back, my sister hosted a party and no one said nothing. You
Anything.
understand?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
difference is that, the difference which I did not consider is that my sister was coming back from school, or it was a graduation party, and myself was not a graduation. It was just a party to impress my friends and everyone else in the hood. You understand? So
Yeah.
I'll say my father was actually reasonable when he rejected, but according to how I see things, I think he's very wrong and highly wrong. You understand?
Yes.
So those issues are caused by the differences which are found within relationships, as in a family relationship, and the differences which are found in our mindsets, how we are raised, what we know, what we believe. As I've said, that even religion also do play a role in the issues that we have in the society. I will not say a black society, but it affects all of us. If there are two people from a different religions, or believing into two different religions, is that they will always be found within an entanglement of explaining how life is and how life should be. You understand?
Yeah. So,
Yes. That
thank you very much for your time. I would love if you would tell people more about where they can get you, your social media platforms, what you do, and the rest of them. This is the time you can now give your
oh
the formal explanation about yourself you wanted to do at the beginning of the podcast.
they like it can be a formal introduction, actually a
Yes.
short bio.
Yes.
Okay, yes. I'm at my mid 20s, of course. I'm at my mid 20s. So I'll be celebrating my birthday on the 5th of April,
Whoa, happy birthday. Happy
which I'll
birthday.
be
Happy
20.
birthday.
Yes, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I matriculated 2017. I've already said that I am from South Africa in a province called Limpopo,
Wow.
and in a town named Thanin. So uh, I'm in one of the villages which uh, are in a compilation of villages. The compilation of the village that I'm talking about, which is found in Zanin, is Juliusburg. So I'm in Zanin town in Limpopo province in South Africa. And then I'm also a podcaster. I have embarked on book writing. I'm actually writing my first book right now as we are speaking. I have just commenced. So I am a motivational speaker, an MC. I'm kind of multi-talented. There's a lot of things. So, but to know more about me, I do have an Instagram which is Lord Warrant, and on my Facebook it's Lord Warrant the second in Roman figure, and
Okay.
Roman figure which is II Lord Warrant II. And then on TikTok it's also Lord
Right.
Warrant
Okay.
II.
Okay, there's an I
Yes,
to
so
it.
yes, so on you, I actually, if you have noticed, I there is no way that I have displayed my actual contact information except in my podcast, which is named after the Lazy Room podcast. Understand? It is available on YouTube, Spotify. The websites are countless, so you found them whenever you find me in
Okay.
my social media platforms.
Yeah.
So I have one kid. I'm single. I'm not married actually because we parted ways with the mother of my child because of various reasons. It's common in the black society. It's common.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So there's nothing more, or I'll say interesting most to know about me except that I am a visionary and a motivational speaker and a podcaster and a book writer. I'll also be releasing my first EP in the next few months. I'm still working on something. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's Lord Warrant for now, because next day we'll be talking a different story.
Okay, sure, sure. We'll be talking a different story. Okay. So
Yes.
sorry the camera went off there. Um, I'm Samuel Favor, as you know, and this is the Perspective View podcast. And today I was having a very nice guest that has spoken a lot. His name is Lord Warrant, even as he has explained. Do well to follow him on Facebook, on his TikTok, on his Instagram, and also if he has a Twitter account, do well to follow him. He's a podcaster, as he has said, and also do well to check out his podcast on Facebook, on Instagram, and mostly on YouTube. Do well to subscribe to his channel, even as you subscribe to mine. The name of his channel is The Lazy Room. The Lazy Room. And yeah, that is
The
all.
lazy room.
Yes, I'm Samuel Favor, and today was a great day. You can also follow me on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, and do well to subscribe to my Facebook, to my YouTube channel. Today has been a very great day, even having Mr. Warrant here to speak with me on parents' view and children's thoughts. There are lots and lots of things that has been said today that I think we should put into consideration. Lots and lots of things we should put into consideration. So do well, and hopefully I think I will be having Lord Warrant in most of the episodes. That is if he will not be my co-host. Yeah, that's if he will not be my co-host. So he will be joining me in most of the episode of podcast I'll be having. Do well to subscribe to the channel. I'm Samuel Favor, and this is the Perspective View podcast. We'll be having our podcast mostly every Fridays and Sundays. Then if there are any other days we'll have a free day, we would also do a podcast. Do have a lovely weekend, and goodbye. Goodbye, Lord Warrants.
Thank you, Mr. We'll communicate using on app.
Yeah.